Hello everyone, welcome back. So, Invincible season 4 episode 6 is basically that calm before the storm episode. But in classic Invincible fashion, even the breather comes packed with emotional weight, character development, and just enough chaos to remind you that a massive war is about to explode. The episode picks up right after the brutal fight with Conquest, where Mark barely survives. And honestly, he spends most of this episode completely broken. He's been unconscious for nearly 2 months, and instead of jumping straight into more action, the show slows things down to focus on Nolan and Oliver, trying to keep him alive on this deserted alien planet. And this is where the episode really shines. Because while the war is building in the background, the course of this episode is Nolan genuinely trying to be a better father. His relationship with Oliver has been strained, especially after Oliver overhears that Nolan once called his relationship with Oliver's mother a mistake. That hits hard, and you can feel Oliver's anger throughout the episode. But for the first time, Nolan doesn't deflect or justify himself like the old Omni Man would. He owns it, he admits he hasn't been a good father, and slowly you start to see Oliver soften. It's not instant forgiveness, but it feels real. By the end, Oliver agreeing to train with Nolan isn't just about preparing for war, it's about finally accepting him as father. At the same time, there's this quiet, almost symbolic survival storyline happening. Nolan hunting for food, Oliver refusing to eat, them learning to work together, even sparing that creature for future eggs. It all reflects how they are starting to think beyond themselves and act like a family. Meanwhile, the bigger war plot keeps moving forward in parallel. Thrag is rallying the Viltrumites, making it clear that despite their weakness, they are far from done. On the other side, the coalition of planets thinks they have finally have a chance to win, especially with characters like Alan, Tech Jacket, Space Runner, and even Battle Beast re-entering the fight. That lineup alone tells you things are about to get intense. But the show cleverly builds tension by giving a small victory instead of a full-scale battle. The coalition starts gaining ground, hitting Viltrumite outpost, and for a moment it feels like maybe, just maybe, they are winning. And then everything flips. The attack on the coalition base is sudden and brutal. Thrax shows up, chaos erupts, and just like that, any sense of safety is gone. It's a reminder that no matter how hopeful things seem, the Viltrumites are still terrifyingly powerful. Mark finally waking up right before this chaos is also important. It's not a heroic comeback moment, he's still weak, but it signals that the story is pushing him back into the center of the war just as things escalate. Then comes the twist with the mole. Someone inside the coalition had been sabotaging them for years, and while the reveal itself feels a bit rushed, the reasoning is very on brand for Invincible. Fear. Not ideology, not betrayal of war, just pure survival. It adds another layer to the war, showing that Viltrumites don't just dominate physically, they break people psychology too, psychologically too. By the end of the episode, the direction is clear. The next move is Viltrum itself, and that's huge because everything so far, Mark's recovery, Nolan's redemption, Oliver's growth, the coalition build up, it's all leading to that final confrontation. So yeah, this episode might feel slower compared to the chaos before it, but it's doing something really important. It's rebuilding the character, strengthening their relationship, and setting emotional stakes right before the biggest battle begins. Because when the war fully kicks off, it's not just about who's stronger, it's about who's actually worth fighting for. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.